Hi, I'm Sarah from You Floral, and today I'm going to show you guys how to take this super cool wedding sign made by my friend Ariana and add in these beautiful flowers that'll make a great accents to your wedding. Let's get started. So the supplies I'm going to use today is this Oasis floral foam. You could also use chicken wire if you're not a fan of foam. But if you are using the foam, make sure you use this stuff here. It's the wet foam, and so it enables water to be uptaken versus this stuff here. This is like just a styrofoamy type foam, and this will not hold water, so you're not gonna wanna use this guy. So I'm gonna use my floral foam. I've got my pruners. I have a knife and a cutting board to cut the foam, and then I have a variety of different flowers here. I've got some texture flowers like this Eryngium, and I've got some fun little cosmos here. And then I love this guy here. This is Amaranthus. It's got a really fun drapey look to it. I'm gonna have to take off all these leaves, the Amaranthus, because they have a tendency to wilt. So I'm gonna pull these all off before I use them. So to start off, I'm gonna need to cut my foam. So I'm just gonna take it and kind of line it up to where it's gonna go. I'll just use my knife here to score it so I can kind of tell where the size is. And then I'll take my knife and very carefully, of course, cut it. I'm just gonna check that it fits. Perfect. And then I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna soak this in water. And then this second one here is just a little bit too big, so I'm just gonna kind of shave a little hair off this second one, so that way it's the right size. Perfect, so let's go and soak these guys. So I've got my floral foam all soaked up. If you want to know how to do this, make sure you watch a video I have about that. And you can tell even though these are full of water, they drip a little bit, but it's not actually that bad. They hold the water pretty well inside the actual foam. So I'm gonna go and stick these. Oh, that one I cut too small. So that's something you gotta be careful of. If you cut them too small, then they just sink like that. So I'm gonna have to fish this one out of there. So I'm gonna start with some filler flower, which is this baby's breath. I'm just gonna cut them to a couple different pieces. Sometimes baby's breath has a couple of blooms that just kind of break off, so that's fine. I can just use it still. And I'm gonna just push it into the foam. So you wanna make sure that your stems are the right length, so that way they get enough immersion into the foam, so that way they'll stay hydrated. And I really like using this baby's breath because it's gonna cover a lot of this space, this foam that I have showing. And I'm not gonna put too much in to start with because I haven't started putting my flowers in yet. So I really don't quite know how it's fully gonna shake out. So I'm just gonna put a little bit just so I can start to see the design forming. I've also got this super fun the hanging amaranthus. So I'm gonna use that to hide a lot of the foam as well. So it'll be just a case of placing it in the right spot so that way I don't hide my wording. This is so beautiful and drapey. And then, like I said, make sure you remove all the greenery because it really wilts badly. And that goes the case for all your flowers that you're using. You don't wanna have greenery on your flower stems because they generally don't last super well, so I just pull them off. Oh, that looks kind of funny. So it's kind of always a work in progress, just finding out what looks good. So let's start to add in some of my flowers now. So I've got some line flowers like this Snapdragon that I have for some height. So once you cut it, you can't go back. So sometimes I like to just kind of eyeball it, like placing it up and down to get an idea of like where will be best for it to go. And I want to make sure it's at least an inch in the foam so it stays hydrated throughout my event. And I'm just going to go and place all my flowers at differing heights as well for visual interest. And some, like this Eryngium, have a lot of different buds on them. So I'll just cut them into different sizes and shapes, so that way I have all that fun texture and it's not overpowering with just a big giant clump of the Eryngium. Eryngium's one of my favorite ones to use for texture, and it lasts so long. It actually dries beautifully as well. So I definitely have that in a lot of my arrangements. Another flower I reach to often is carnations, just because they are so long lasting and hardy. And they're really affordable. So I have those in a lot of my arrangements. So I'm just gonna keep adding in my flowers here and see where that takes me. I'm just gonna add in a little bit of this silver dollar eucalyptus just to fill in some of the last remaining spaces that I can see a little bit of floriform. And I also just like the texture that the silver dollar eucalyptus adds in. So just add in a few pieces in here. And there we go. That is my completed sign for a wedding. So hope you guys learned something today, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.